Hi guys, Joe here with Midwest Military Equipment, and welcome back to our channel. Today's going to be an awesome day. We're actually going to get you up in this old Leyland FV4201 Chieftain main battle tank. This thing is an absolute beast, weighs almost 60 tons, and today we're going to go ahead and show you starting it, checking the fluids in it, and running it around the lot. So stay tuned. Let's climb up on top of this FV4201 Chieftain main battle tank and run you through how you check the fluids, kind of where the gunner station is, and all the different features of this truck or this machine. As you can see, standing up here on top of it, it is an absolute brute. This particular unit we acquired out of a private collection in California. And today we're just going to run it around, start it up, exercise it a little bit. It's always good to exercise these older machines to keep them running and keep them tip top. So this machine we're going to end up doing a bunch of different customization to, and then obviously listing for sale before we do so. But we got a lot of other projects in the way first. So we're going to go ahead and walk to the back of the tank. If you notice, we've already rotated the turret around. So one thing that's kind of interesting about these Chieftain tanks is the turret has to be rotated around to check some of the fluids in it. So you've got a total of 4 fuel cells on the tank itself. So you've got one there, the same positions on the other corner. Then you've got your coolant oil or coolant fluid level here, and then your hydraulic oil level fluid there. And then your rear brakes are actually underneath these covers here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this cover up so you can see the 19-liter Leyland engine that this thing has. There we go. So if you notice, there's actually this rubber rub rail around the outside of the tank. Probably wondering, what are those for? They're like a bump dock stopper. When you throw these over like that, it keeps it from marring up the paint on the panels or damaging the panels. So this is actually one of the 2 radiators on this Leyland L60 engine. It's a 19-liter engine, so it's an absolute beast. So what's neat about these radiators, to open them up, you just go ahead and grab a pull handle here, lay them up. That gets you down to the engine. You can go ahead and get to the air filter, everything else with it. Engine oil dipsticks right there forward on this. And then we obviously, an important thing with these engines is to check the governor oil in them. So that way you don't end up with one running away. So we'll go ahead and lay that cover back down. I'll open up one of these covers to kind of show you the brakes on it. So this one, we have not done anything to this machine since it came in, but literally unloaded off the trailer, park it right here. So we went through, checked the fluids on it earlier before we started this video, just because it is kind of a process opening up all these panels. Threw a hot set of batteries in it, and now we're gonna go ahead and crank it up, and we added some fresh fuel as well. We're gonna go ahead and crank it up and run this thing around the lot. All right, so now that I'm up off the back of the tank, I'm climbing down to the operator station here and crawl down this small little hole and show you guys some of the controls on this amazing Chieftain main battle tank. It's a really neat piece. It's just kind of a pain getting down into the operator station, but once you're in here, it's actually, believe it or not, pretty darn comfortable. So got all your gauges across here, RPM gauge, speedometer gauge, things of that nature. We've got our generator start switches, and then our main start switches, battery kill switch down below. For the sake of today, we just threw some smaller batteries in here. We're gonna end up, like I said earlier, bringing this thing into the shop, doing a bunch of different service work to it before we list it for sale. But for the nature of today's video, we just went ahead, threw these smaller batteries in it. That way you're able to at least start it, run it, and we're not killing a nice set of Group 31s. You know, these things, they're kind of prone for battery draws, so we always want to add an external battery disconnect switch. It's just kind of one of those things that makes it a nice feature if you're going to be exercising the tank on a weekly basis. But going back to the controls, very, very simple design. You've got lever steers on both sides here, so you've got a left lever steer, right lever steer, and then this is actually your gear selector right down here where my foot's at. So, and then you've got a neutral lockout for reverse, which we're obviously gonna have to put it in reverse today to back out of where we're at. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw these few switches down here, and you can, fuel pump's running. All right, so we'll go ahead and hit the start switch here. We got her cranked up. See, RPMs are coming up. Idling real good. Coolant temperature's rising a little bit. Now we got it running. I'm gonna go ahead and release the parking brake here, lower it all the way down. This is our reverse cutout switch. So this keeps you from accidentally shifting it into reverse when you're downshifting the tank itself. So I'm gonna go ahead and hold this button here and then click down on the pedal. Felt it pop into reverse there, and we're moving. Very simple to operate. Once again, leather steer here. Go ahead and pull up on one lever, turn it. Now we're gonna go forward. So to take it out of reverse, very simple process. Just click back on it. Currently we're in neutral. We'll go ahead and go back one. We're in first gear forward now. I don't think we're gonna make this circle here, so go ahead and put her back in reverse. Depress the button, click down, back in reverse. Go back to forward. This thing's an absolute blast to drive, especially when you get a much bigger area than the area that we're in right now here on our yard. Makes it a little tight to turn. Turns very, very well for how big of a tank it is. I mean, this thing is a 60-ton beast. Load this baby up behind that Oshkosh M1070 and the M1000 trailer. We're going to do that'll be our next video, so be sure to stay tuned. Taking it to the back portion of our parking lot here. What an absolute awesome piece to be able to drive. Go ahead and set this guy up. That way you guys can kind of see a first person point of view here. Continue on forward. We're gonna end up putting this right in our little parking spot that we've got carved out here on our back lot, right over there. So we'll maneuver it on over here. See how this goes. Call this home for the Chieftain from now on, at least till we get time to run it back through the shop. So shut-off procedure is very similar to the start procedure. You're just going to go ahead and flip all the switches up. We're going to kill the battery disconnect, which is right down here. Turn that off. Battery disconnect off. For the sake, since we're going to be parking this for a while, I'm going to go ahead and remove a couple of these battery cables, crossover cables, just so that way till we get another battery disconnect switch or take a look at this tank, we don't kill another set of batteries for no reason or run into the situation where somebody forgets to leave something on or crawls into the back of it. We get a lot of customers through our shop that just want to check out stuff, and turning switches on and leaving stuff on seems to be somewhat of a common occurrence. So go ahead and get out of the operator station here. what an absolute blast. So very important thing too I want to note when driving a Chieftain is the hatch here. This is the safety hatch. There is a latch that keeps the hatch from running into you, and it's very important to make sure to always lock that before you start driving it, because the last thing you want to do is get in the tank, begin driving it, and forget to have that lever pulled to lock that hatch. Because if that hatch hits you, it will not feel good. So I'm going to go ahead and lock that latch, and we'll get up into the top of it and kill those. So this is a release for that. Now that I've got it released, you can see that it swings right on over. Real easy. We'll put some pressure down on it. Get it to seal down. And that's home. So go ahead and step back up here onto the top, and we'll spin the turret around a little bit, show you kind of how all the operation of the turret itself works. So climbing up onto the top of the tank here, we've got two hatches. This is your main gunner's hatch, and this is another accessory hatch here. It's the easiest one, in my opinion, to get in and out of. It's where you've got a small arms cradle, all the sights are periscope glass. So we'll climb down into this thing here. Show you how they run the barrel around. So I'm sitting in one of the main seats here. See, the interior on this one is actually super nice, just needs a really good cleaning. But overall, very, very nice condition. The breech, obviously, on this one, like a majority of the tanks out there in the civilian market, has been cut. So that's where you can see that's kind of flame cut off the back of there. And then that is the traversing wheel right over there. We're going to get down in there and spin the barrel around a little bit. And that should be it for today. This is all we need to do is just move it back here into a new parking spot and get it out of the way to keep plenty of room around our shop for current builds. So we'll go ahead and climb the rest of the way down into the tank here, and we'll go ahead and get that. Oh, that's kind of neat. I don't think my last one had this. So this is actually an elevation handle for your small arms for when you're inside of it. So that's kind of a cool piece. It's just really amazing to see all these original data tags and how everything's done. It was just, in the era, it was really, really cool and absolute brute of a piece of equipment. So go ahead and climb down in here into where the turret traverse is. We'll go ahead and hand crank the turret around. It's just as simple as that. So the other handle to my left is actually the elevation handle. So right now we're trying to just spin the turret around, and then that other one there is the elevation handle. So you should, on the outside of this, be able to see the turret coming around now. All right, so I'm gonna keep cranking this. Bringing it over to the left would be going counterclockwise on it. Get it brought kind of over to center, just so that way nobody runs into it when it's here in the parking lot. But I mean, if you just look at the engineering behind these machines, it's absolutely unfreaking believable. All the different traversing levers, the generator for the start system, all of the different voltage and power cables they have everywhere, resettable fuses, smoke launcher buttons, elevation dials. I mean, it's just, the more you look, it's just absolutely amazing the amount of engineering that goes into building one of these pieces of equipment. And not only that, but fitting it all in this small cavity here. All the different places for weapon storage and things of that nature. It's just really, really cool to be able to get in one, spend a little bit of time around it, play with it, understand how it works, understand what does what. It's just a very fun, different thing to do that not a lot of people get the opportunity to do. So this one, it's a cool piece. It's gonna make somebody a really nice machine one day, I'm sure, once we get done going through it. All right, so now that we've got the barrel traversed over a little bit, just out of the way, that way we make as much parking around this thing as possible, but still be able to get to check some of the fluids. We go ahead and climb off the top of this piece. We'll end up closing the hatches on it a little bit later today. Probably gonna run it around a little bit more, just kind of shake everything down. So appreciate you guys taking the time to watch today's video today. This is a very, very unique piece. Gonna be listed up on our website, hopefully here in the next few months. We are gonna do a ton of work to it and get it repainted get it listed up, and hopefully make it a very enjoyable piece of equipment for the next owner. So we're going to do some more videos with this beast. Hopefully we're going to load it on one of our M1070s and our M1000 trailer. I know a lot of people that watched our M1070 video. If you haven't watched it yet, definitely recommend watching it. Really cool video showcasing the M1070, M1000 trailer. We're going to be planning on loading this thing up on the trailer and just running it through our yard. We're not going to take it out on any main roads because the trailers are ridiculously over width. This thing's crazy weight, you know, right at almost 60 tons is what this tank weighs, but kind of want to see what the M1070 does when we load it up. So be sure to stay tuned for that vehicle or that video. We appreciate you guys taking the time to watch today's video. And if you need a military vehicle of any shape or kind, we keep over 200 military vehicles in stock along with all the parts to support them. Be sure to check out our website, MidwestMilitaryEquipment.com, or give our sales team a call at 636-900-9046. Appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video today. We'll see you next time.